Acquisition de la télémesure par la station de Nunorcia. La propulsion est nominale. Le pilotage est calme. La propulsion est nominale. Le pilotage est calme. Propulsion nominale. Pilotage calme. La propulsion est nominale. Le pilotage est calme. La propulsion est nominale. Et le pilotage est calme. La propulsion est nominale. Le pilotage reste calme. La propulsion est nominale. Le pilotage est calme. La propulsion est nominale. Le pilotage est calme. Propulsion nominale. Pilotage calme et fin de visibilité de la station de New Norcia. Perte attendue de la télémesure. Retour de la télémesure dans 2 minutes. Acquisition de la télémesure par la station d'Awarua. Le pilotage est calme. La propulsion est nominale. Le pilotage est calme. La propulsion est nominale. Le pilotage est calme. La propulsion est nominale. Pilotage toujours calme. Le pilotage est calme.
Stunning images of Ariane 64 launching from the European spaceport in French Guiana just over an hour ago. Welcome back to Road to Space. I'm Katie Haswell.
And I'm LEO-3 from Arianespace.
And our rocket, Ariane 64, is hurtling through space with our 36 Amundsen LEO satellites inside. I think I might have some sound problems, so you pick up.
Okay, so we have our satellites traveling on board Europe's most powerful rocket, Ariane 64. Today is the 8th flight of Ariane 6 and the 7th flight for Arianespace to operate this launcher. And as you said, Katie, we have 36 Amazon LEO satellites on board, and we are now approaching an important sequence, which is, of course, the separation of our satellites. We will now do a transition from the elliptical orbit on which we are on to a circular orbit. We are just pick up the signal in the Awarua ground test station over New Zealand. You can see on the CGI animation that we see New Zealand beyond the launcher. The launcher right now is composed of the upper stage, equipped with the Vinci engine, and on top of it, you have the 36 Amazon LEO satellite assembled around the dispenser.
And let's just have a little reminder now of what's been happening so far, Loic, and what's coming up.
So we lifted up about an hour ago from the coast of French Guiana towards the North Atlantic Ocean. We have been propulsed by the 4 boosters, which are brand new on this version of Ariane 64, the P160C, enhanced boosters with more thrust. We have separated them once they have completed their task, of course, and then separated the fairing. Once we have exited the atmosphere, the satellites are now in visibility of the deep space. The Vulcan propulsion, the main engine propulsion, has lasted about 8 minutes. After that, we have separated the lower stage to shed up some mass, and then now we are working with the upper stage, which is equipped with the Vinci engine. The Vinci engine is a cryogenic engine that can be reignited several times. We will use it 3 times during this mission. We have already performed the first boost of 10 minutes. And after that, we had a ballistic phase when we have raised our altitude just by the simple effect of gravitation. We are now on an elliptical orbit, almost at the apogee at 465 kilometers, which is the targeted altitude to deliver our satellites. And this is the main coming up sequence, of course, the separation of our 36 Amazon LEO satellites. 12 steps for that separation. We separate them three at a time. And once we have completed this separation sequence, the commercial mission will be over, of course. But for Ariane 6, there's going to be another adventure, which is the re-entry into the atmosphere after a third boost of the Vinci engine.
And on the top right-hand side of our screen, you can see the trajectory. The green line is the planned trajectory, and the yellow line is the actual trajectory. And the cross, of course, is our rocket. Below that, our altitude, 464 kilometers, coming up to 465, and our speed, 7.5 kilometers per second. That's very fast. Coming up now to the next big moment.
Deuxième allumage Vinci. La propulsion est nominale. Pilotage calme.
And we have confirmation from the Range Operations Manager that we have now switched on the engine on the Vinci upper stage for its second boost. So that's good news. It's a short boost.
It's a very short boost, 18 seconds, just enough energy to transform the elliptical orbit into a circular orbit, so a constant altitude, which is the targeted altitude to deliver our satellites. You can see on the screen that on the top right-hand corner that the altitude is now plateauing at about 465 kilometers. And we just had confirmation that the Vinci has just shut down, so we are now in another ballistic phase.
And things are about to get interesting now for our Amazon LEO satellites because, as you said, Loic, we're on our orbit, we've plateaued out, and the next step will be to start these separation sequences. And we're going to be delivering 36 satellites, 3 by 3, in 12 separations.
Absolutely, and the onboard computer of the upper stage, of course, is fully autonomous, so it knows perfectly when and where to drop our satellites. And right now, we are outside of the visibility of tracking stations, so the first separation events will not be fully given by the telemetry. We will have to wait for the acquisition of another tracking station in Galeo, in French Guiana. So we will have done a lap of the Earth by then, and it's just about half an hour, and we will have confirmation of all the parameters of the launcher by then.
Indeed. So what we're going to do now is take a break while we wait to go back into the range of the Galeo tracking station at the European Spaceport in French Guiana. And once we've checked in there, we'll come back to you in about 27 minutes, just before we check in, actually. So don't go away. Stay with us.
See you very soon.
La propulsion est nominale. Pilotage calme. La propulsion est nominale. Pilotage calme. Propulsion nominale. Fin de visibilité de la télémesure par la station d'Awarua, perte attendue de la télémesure, retour de la télémesure dans à peu près 25 minutes. Acquisition de la télémesure par la station de Galio.
Hello again, welcome back to Road to Space. I'm Katie Haswell, and
I'm Loïc from Iron Space.
And we've just had confirmation there that we've acquired the signal at the Galio tracking station. So we are just over an hour and a half into the journey of 36 Amazon LEO satellites on board Europe's Ariane 6 rocket.
Yes, they are on their way to join their fellow Amazon LEO satellites in space and grow the constellation for Amazon LEO.
Indeed, and we're scheduled to have delivered the first 18 of those satellites onto their orbits. And if you've been watching our 3D there, the telemetry coming in now on the right-hand side of the screen. And the range operations manager is now confirming that the separation sequence is ongoing. Loïc, we have lots of passengers on our bus today, all getting off at different bus stops.
Yes, and the bus driver is the Ariane 6 upper stage. We have now delivered scheduled delivery of many satellites. The upper stage is fully autonomous, so it knows when and where to drop off our passengers. We've been outside of visibility of ground tracking station for a few minutes before, but now we are collecting, as you said, the data coming from Galio ground tracking station. And we have done a lap of the Earth, so it's been quite a ride already. And the separation sequence is progressing. We have 25 minutes of total of separation sequence, and it's performed in 12 steps. So we deliver 3 satellites at a time.
We were just looking there at the bottom right of the screen. We could see the teams at the Galio tracking station in French Guiana at the spaceport, who are tracking these separations at this point now. The next one coming up will be separation number 7, and you can see on the top right-hand side of your screen, that's the trajectory, the green line, the projected planned trajectory, the yellow line, the actual trajectory, and you can see, and the cross, of course, the launcher, and you can see that we've already scheduled to have gone through 6 separations, getting a nice shot there of our satellites attached. Now, just talk us through how it's all working.
So you can see on the animation that the satellites are attached to a kind of mast, this kind of black cylindrical structure, which is the satellite dispenser provided by Amazon. Below the dispenser is a conical shaped structure, which we call the launch vehicle adapter. It connects the dispenser and the satellites to the launcher. The launcher being the upper stage, this white cylindrical structure that you see on your screen. And right now we are progressing with no propulsion from the main engine. We're proceeding, with the separation sequence. So we have 5 more sequence to go, 5 more steps to go.
And the satellites being pinged off the dispenser there with the set of springs.
Yes,
moving.
Indeed, they are moving. They are gently pushed away through spring. The separation command is sent by the onboard computer, relayed by the dispenser, and through pyrotechnical devices, the satellites are released from the dispenser. And as you mentioned, the springs are gently pushing them away and safely pushing them away from the launcher.
That's to avoid any collisions. We don't want anybody banging into anybody else up there in space. That's where we lifted off from, the Guiana Space Centre. You saw it back there. And this image that we're looking at is the visualization. It's an animation. It's a simulation of, he's giving us information there that we have now picked up the signal at the tracking station at the SNA. So this visualization that we're looking at is really great, isn't it? Because it allows us to see what's actually happening up there in space.
Yes, we have all the inputs from the mission analysis as entry to this animation. So you have what is actually happening in space. Of course, we don't have the actual footage, but we don't have external cameras to see that. But you can see the animation is pretty accurate. And once again, on the top right-hand corner of your screen, you have the actual telemetry, so the data that is received live and that is transmitted through mission control. So we know our altitude, and also the speed is right now 7.3 kilometers per second.
And there we go, the naval tracking station. You can see it there. Loic, we are coasting without the engine, but we do actually have a little bit of propulsion, don't we?
Yes, indeed, the Vinci engine, the main engine, is shut down, but we have a feature of Ariane 6 upper stage, which is called the APU, the Auxiliary Power Unit. It's kind of a small engine that gives a little bit of thrust to the stage when it's not in the full propulsion mode. It's a very interesting feature because it allows us to perform the deployment of this constellation and 36 satellites in a very safe mode. We have, let's say, the distance between the satellites and the launcher completely under control, and it also allows us to perform this sequence in a rather short amount of time. We have 25 minutes to separate 36 satellites, so it's quite short. And that's one of the innovations from Ariane 6 that is allowing us also to address very various missions.
So as we said, we've picked up the signal at the Naval Tracking Station, which is now monitoring this phase in the flight, and the range operations manager telling us everything's going normally. Yeah, it's a boat, isn't it?
Yes, a boat right inside, in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. We have seen it at the beginning of the mission. It was helping us tracking the launcher at the beginning of the mission, and we have done now a lap of the Earth, so we are back almost on the same position as before, and we are tracking the launcher again. And it's important, of course, in this separation sequence that we get all the data needed. So the Naval Tracking Station is equipped with large antennas, and they are stabilized, of course, because if the sea is a little bit bumpy, we want to make sure that the signal is not degraded.
Indeed, you want to make sure that even in choppy waters you can still keep it nice and balanced, so it's a clever thing. Big shout out to all the people working in all the tracking stations, actually, because we've got quite a few of them today, haven't we? We lifted off from Galileo, we've got the Naval Tracking Station, we've also got Santa Maria in the Azores.
Yes, we have a full network all around the globe for these ground tracking stations. It's very important. As I said, we need to have a good tracking of the launcher, of what's happening in space. And we have the teams from the Space Agency, French Space Agency, which are in charge of these tracking stations monitoring right now.
Separation number 10 that we're looking at, the Range Operations Manager has been telling us that the separation process is ongoing, and we've gone out of the range now of that tracking station, the previous tracking station. So it's an important day for us, actually, because today is, once we've released our final satellite, will be the 100th Amazon LEO satellite.
Absolutely, yes.
To be launched by Europe's rocket, and it's just a sign, really, of the hugely important relationship between Arianespace and Amazon LEO.
Yes, we are very involved in committing to Amazon LEO's missions. We have 18 missions contracted with Amazon LEO. It's the third one today. So we've been quite busy in the past months to handle all these missions and to send these satellites into space. Of course, we are always glad to have the Amazon teams in French Guiana preparing the launch campaigns, and we have also given them specific facilities so they can smoothly and independently prepare their satellite batches for every launch campaign.
Indeed, it's always a joy to see the Amazon LEO teams in French Guiana. And we have quite a lot of new features, haven't we, coming on Ariane 6. If you were with us at the beginning of the programme, we were explaining how the Ariane 6 rocket has actually been designed to be scalable, to be modifiable, to be constantly upgraded, lots of new features.
Yes, we like to have a launcher that is indeed evolving all the time. Of course, we have all the return of experience of the past missions, which allows us to make it even more performative. But also we have greater improvements, like we're going to make the structure that is holding the Vulcan engine, the engine from the lower stage, much lighter. So this means that we will have more payload to offer to our customers to be brought into sky. So it's always good for our customers to be able to count on Ariane 6 being even more performant.
Nice shot there of a good angle, if you like, camera angle, if you like, on the satellites being separated. Separation number 10 You can see that we've got 6 satellites left on board. Our mast getting increasingly empty. And if you're just joining us, a quick reminder about the Amazon LEO constellation and why today's launch is important, why it matters. Amazon LEO is Amazon's low Earth orbit network, so hence the name LEO for low Earth orbit. And it's designed to provide fast and reliable internet to customers and communities who are often beyond the reach of existing networks.
Yes, and the constellation will be over 3,000 satellites. It is also linked to a global network of antennas and fiber optical lines, of course, and internet connection points on the ground. And the constellation will include so many satellites that will work in a choreographed mesh. They will be, as you said, delivering a low latency connectivity for homes, for businesses, for farms, emergency services, even aircraft.
2 more separation events to go. 6 satellites left, so 2 more separations of 3 satellites each. And our dispenser, that mast, the black mast in the middle there, it's really getting empty now, isn't it?
Yes, indeed, yes. As you said, two more steps to go. We have separated them from bottom to top.
And what we're looking at here, the white disk, is what's left of the rocket. It's the upper stage, and the long mast, if you like, is the dispenser, which not only allows the satellites to be attached, but also allows them to be effectively dispensed, so ejected into space, as you were saying, with that set of springs. The next separation coming up, and that is separation number 11. And the range operations manager confirming that the separation sequence is ongoing. We can see the little satellites there moving away slowly from the mother ship, gently, to go off and join their brothers and sisters in space. And as we've mentioned in the programme, it is an important day for Amazon LEO because we're launching more satellites into orbit than previously. We've got an extra 4 satellites on board, and that's all thanks to our new boosters, the P160Cs, more powerful, more performance. Yeah, indeed, more performance, so more satellites to bring into space, and that's really important for the constellation. The more spacecraft we deliver, of course, is the more useful we are for our customer, Amazon LEO. And so far, in a few months, 5 months, we've been able to launch 3 missions, and that represents, as you said before, 100 satellites launched by IN6 so far. We've got 1 more separation left now. The last 3 satellites waiting to be dropped off at their final bus stop and go off and join the rest of the constellation. The other satellites already heading off. Well, what's actually happening to them now? What happens to them once they're released into space? So they'll start their real life in space. And the Amazon LEO Mission Operations Center in Redmond, Washington State of United States is taking control over their newly delivered satellites. They will be flying satellites, if you want, managing all the spacecraft operations. So right now they are taking over the mission, establishing contact with their new additions to this fleet. And they will be conducting initial health checks, raising also the orbit of the Amazon LEO satellites to their final operative orbit. And this phase that we call the commissioning phase, once it is completed, then the satellites will start doing their job, which is delivering internet connection.
Poursuite et fin de la séquence de séparation Amazon LEO.
So, the final Amazon LEO separation there, the range operations manager confirmed that was the final one. Let's go over. I see that David Cavaiolas is in the fishbowl. David, of course, is the CEO of Arianespace and also head of the flight desk. David, so the mission's ongoing.
La propulsion est nominale.
Tell us about the progress of the satellite situation.
Hi again, Katie. Hi again, everybody. The mission is still in progress. We only have partial data at the moment, but those data are extremely positive because they show that all the satellite separation that we have been able to track happened exactly as planned. The satellites have reached successfully their target orbit. So this is a milestone, and even if the mission is still ongoing, I would like to thank all the team and congratulate all the team involved. Today we have launched the heaviest European launcher ever, and this is really a turning point. Last but not least, of course, thank you to Amazon. We are more motivated than ever to make Amazon LEO a success.
Thank you very much, David Caviolis. So, Loic, it was a beautiful launch, and we are coming to the end of our programme now. But congratulations to everyone who's worked so hard on today's launch, and thank you.
Yes, thanks also to all the teams at Ariane Group and Arianespace, all the people involved at the Guyana Space Center and all over the globe. You've been doing a great job again.
And also massive thanks to the Amazon LEO teams. Our thanks also to the production team who have made this live broadcast possible, and to you for joining us on Road to Space. We're going to leave, and to you, Loic Leroy, for being
Katie,
with us. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
And lending us your expertise. We're going to leave you now with a film about Arianespace, and a short film about Arianespace, and a replay of the launch. But for now, from me, Katie Haswell.
And from me, Loic Leroy.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
The launch starts the moment you partner with